what's up, everybody? Haven't been live in a long time. I want to do a quick video, talk a little bit about sales. This is for the small business owner, for the real estate agent. This is for the sales professional and even network marketers, even though they don't listen half the time. And a lot of the advice I give them, they're too busy listening to their upline. You know what I'm talking about. But I've been in sales since I was 12 years old. Actually, I went around and I used to sell candy door to door, and I was one of the top salesmen. And a lot of people, a lot of the kids that I was with, they were very jealous because I was always hitting the records and getting all the bonuses. So first one I want to talk about is 90% of sales is emotion and 10% is logic. And unfortunately, for most salespeople, they just spend a lot of time talking about logic, trying to show people the prices and trying to sell them on, because it's the best in the industry and all that nonsense. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Emotions is what you need to hit on in order for you to sell somebody. So let me give you guys an example. So let's look at cars, for example. We don't buy a car because we logically need that car. We buy a car because, what's up, Jack? We buy a car because we want it to look nice and we want to show everybody else that we have a car. Oh, look at the car I had. And then we convince ourselves with logic by saying, I need a great car. I need something reliable. But did you need that expensive car that put you in debt? Probably not, right? So let's think of another example. When you watch a Corona commercial, right? What are they always showing? And anybody that has ever seen a Corona commercial, it never changes. They're always showing some emotions on you at a beach, right? They don't show you throwing up and having a hangover. They don't show you basically looking like a zombie the next day. They show this great life. And that's what I talk about when I talk about emotions in sales. You have to get the person to have some kind of feeling, right? Because if you get them to get a feeling, then they start to get excited about the product and service you offer. So one of the things I can teach you guys about sales is when you're doing any sales, no matter what it is, what product and service that you offer, try to figure out how you can hit as many emotional trigger points. And then what we do as sales professionals and marketers is that we antagonize the problem and then we twist it with a knife because we want to sell them on the problem, right? That's the emotion. So when you go back to any commercial that you watch, anything that they show you, it always shows like your life is going to be better as a result. You don't see Corona telling you that they have the lowest percentage in this or they have less calories. You might see some commercials on that when we were going through one of those health phases. But at the end of the day, if you're in sales, you have to hit emotion. So if you sell houses for a living, you're not selling the house on the price. You're not selling the house on anything except that this is their dream home because that's what they're looking for. So if you're a real estate agent, you're trying to sell them a dream home. You're not selling them on nothing else, right? So anyways, the next one is telling is not selling. Too many salespeople, business owners, network marketers, real estate agents, too many of them you guys are telling people things, right? But if you're a great salesman, you're asking a lot of questions because remember, selling is not telling. It's like one way, it's like telling your child to do something and then selling them on it by asking them questions. Let's just use you're trying to discipline them. You tell them they're doing something wrong. They know this, right? And you're yelling at them and it goes in one ear out the other. Selling them on is, did you think what you did was right? Why did you do that? And just questioning them until they realize, right, that they're the problem. But it also goes back to selling, right? The greatest salesman in the world gets you to believe that it was your idea, that you were the one that came up with it. So if you're great at sales, by the end of your presentation, by the end of your conversation, by the end of your sales choreography, because you've been talking to them for a couple of weeks or a month, it all comes down to convincing them that it was their idea. And how you do that properly is something I used to teach a lot of, is you got to ask a lot of questions when you're doing sales. So when I used to do seminars for a living, one of the things I made sure that I always did in my seminars, I had a little clicker. I would try to test myself, how many questions can I ask in one presentation? I think at one point, I'm not telling you guys to get this dramatic, but I asked 123 questions because people in the crowd, right? They're learning business from me. They're learning social media from me. They're learning Facebook advertisement from me. They're learning whatever we're teaching that day, recruiting. And at the end of the day, I have to ask them questions throughout the day to get them to realize you're not here to just listen to some guy get up on stage and talk. You're here because you want to learn how to solve your problem and how to be better at X, right? So how I do that is by saying, imagine if you guys can learn these 3 strategies. Could this help your business? Imagine making 10 sales a week. How would that help you out? How would that look? So you ask them questions, get them to really feel it so they start to believe it, right? But one of the things I used to always teach them, I used to run sales teams, and one of the things we taught a lot is 3 things you do when you're talking to somebody throughout a conversation, especially in sales: question, agree, close. And for all you guys that suck at dating, this could help you because it's the same when you're trying to date someone. It's the same, right? Some women, when I was looking for dates, which I have not looked for a date in a long time. I'm single, been single for 2 years. I'm recently divorced, so I'm not looking for all that right now. But when I was asking questions, trying to really learn about the person, learn about the woman. I don't just want to throw how great I am, because no woman wants to hear that, right? But in sales, the same thing. Nobody wants to hear how great you are. They want to learn. They want to listen to you. They want to really believe that you're going to solve their problem. How you do that properly is by asking lots of questions and getting them to kind of convince themselves that this makes sense. I need to do this. I need to do X. I need to do this Y. I hope these things are helping me out. But now the last one is the most important, I think, or maybe not the most important, but it's definitely important. Instead of you selling a product or service, make offers to solve their problem. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Instead of selling a product or service, which is what most people in business, sales, network marketers, real estate agents do, don't sell them on how great your product and service is. They don't care about that, right? Make them offers, right? Make them an offer. But here's the most important part when you make an offer or try to sell somebody is give them a deadline. So there's a couple different strategies. I'll give you guys 3 of them, and there's probably at least 30 ways you can do this, but I'll give you 3. One thing is like maybe they get it. You got a benefit that if they buy now, they get something. And I'll just use something simple, even though don't use this idea. Like maybe your company's giving away a $100 gift card. So if they close this week, they get a gift card. And I did this back in the day. I used to sell marketing services, or I sold website services. And I would say the first, for every person that purchases, every person that buys from us, you're going to get put into a drawing to win an iPhone. And at one point I was just giving away iPhones. So here's what I mean by this. It's called takeaway selling. So I'm saying if you don't make the decision by X, by giving the deadline to take your offer, then they don't get the phone, right? So for them, the benefit of them taking action now is some gift or service. If you guys remember, we go back to Sports Illustrated and remember the football phone. The ladies probably don't remember this, but the men do, where people only sign up for Sports Illustrated because they got the phone, right? They got the football phone, the exclusive. Nobody has it, right? And why did they do that? Did they wanted the Sports Illustrated? Did they probably ever read them? No, they wanted to show off their friends. Hey, I got that football phone that you see on Sports Illustrated. So that's called making an offer with benefit. So, but it's exclusive. It's a limited time only. You'll see the McRib comes out of McDonald's, limited time only. These are all sales techniques, right? Because a loss of a price because they didn't take action now, or a loss of a benefit, or just being exclusive altogether. If you don't take action now, you're not even going to get the offer or get the opportunity to buy X, right? So for real estate agents, that should be easy, because if you have a person that's in love with a home, then the sale at this point is we got to get things rolling because we have other offers, right? Now, you don't lie, but if you have one other offer, you want to hype them up on we have another person that's interested so that they take action now. And that's what the whole point of making offers with deadline. Okay, so let's reflect. Let me refresh or rephrase. 90% of all selling is emotions, okay, and only 10% is logic. We all, as human beings, our psyche says we buy things on emotion, but we justify it with logic, right? So the car is a great example. All of us have a car payment. Some of us have a higher payment than we should have done. But at the end of the day, you wanted to get a car and you wanted to get something nice that you could show off, and you justified it by saying, well, I need a reliable car. I need something good. Did you need that nice of a car? Probably not. I know I've done that mistake many times. Every car I buy has always been $600 to $800 a month car payment. Stupid. Next, telling is not selling. Ask questions. And the best formula that I've created over the years of me selling, so I've been doing it for 30 years since I was a kid, is ask a question, get the agreement, and then close, right? So a good example, let's say that I'm selling real estate, just for example. Okay, so the home that we looked at out of the 5, which one did you like the most? I like house number 3. Okay, so then could you see yourself that being your home, your home, your dream home? Yes. Okay, great. Now here's all the close comes. Well, then you know what? There's been a couple other people interested that if you're really serious about that house, I suggest that we start getting the paperwork rolling. We start getting you approved and start getting, make an offer on the house, right? So simple, yet real estate agents probably are waiting around for the person to call them. You have to be the leader. You got to get things rolling, right? So, and then the last is when you make an offer or any kind of sale of anything, product, service, doesn't matter. You need to have a deadline, and you have to have a justifiable reason why. If they don't act by this point, here's what's going to happen. And it's always got to be the fear of loss of them losing something as a result of not taking action now. And unfortunately, most salespeople will go through the whole script. They'll get the person interested, and that person will say, well, you know what, can I just call you in a week? Can I call you in a year? Can I call you in the next decade? Can I call you in 2023? And unfortunately, that's not going to work, because now you're spending all your time following up, right? And I know they say the fortunes of the follow-up, that's only for new leads. That's not for people you already have in the works that already said they want to buy, if that makes sense to you. So the moral of the story is this. Once you get a person interested and you got enough questions and they now know that they need the service, that the only thing now is to get them to take action now. And how you do that is by making the offer, but always have a deadline. Well, we got to get this rolling by X because of X. We got to get this rolling by no later than this time because of this. Or you know what, let's talk in the next 2 days. But you have to take control of the follow-up. You cannot tell them, well, let me call you in a week and we'll see what happens. Can't do that. Or let me talk to my wife. I don't know why the wife wasn't there already. Or let me talk to my husband. I don't know why he wasn't there already during the presentation. Doesn't matter. The moral of the story is you have to constantly be moving the prospect forward to solving their problem because you have the solution. So hope you guys learned from this video. Hope you ladies learned from the video. Comment. Let me know that you watched it live. Let me know you watched a replay. Where you're from, what business you're in. And as I always say, if you continue to follow the masses, you'll continue to be broke asses. You got to stop doing what the majority does, because the majority is usually wrong.